Let's stick with South Africa, where the government in Pretoria has dissolved the board of the National Student Financial Aid Scheme over allegations of corruption, lack of accountability, among such allegations. But while the head of the scheme has refused to step down from office, the country's Minister of Higher Education, Blade Nzimande, has gone public with information on the dissolution of the Students' Financial Aid Program and what lies ahead.
I called the special briefing of the media to publicly communicate the reasons for my decision to dissolve the NSFAS board with immediate effect and to place the institution under administration. This I did on Friday with the publication of the Government Gazette. I also wish to use this media briefing to outline the implications of this decision and further outline the measures we will be putting in place to ensure the continued functioning of the National Student Financial Aid Scheme and even improve it. Our decision to communicate in this manner is informed by a number of considerations. As a minister, I have a deep appreciation for as minister in this instance. I have a deep appreciation for the progressive and transformative role that NSFAS has played over the 33 years of its existence. As one of the democratic government's most decisive instruments in the fight against intergenerational poverty and to advance access to post-school education and training. In its history, NSFAS has supported more than 5 million beneficiaries, thus producing hundreds of thousands of skilled professionals and the middle class, especially from within the ranks of the poor and the working class sections of society. This is definitely one of the most important achievements of this government over the past 30 years of our democracy, and it must be celebrated as such. In fact, there can be no better way of celebrating 30 years of our democracy than to highlight and celebrate the 30 years of NSFAS, the 33 years of NSFAS. Flowing from this, I'm also sensitive to the public expectation on NSFAS as it relates to its role in enabling poor and working class families to give their sons and daughters the gift of education. Legally, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme Act number 56 of 1999 empowers me as minister to, amongst others, assign whatever legitimate functions to the National Student Financial Aid Scheme and to appoint the board of NSFAS. Through various formal engagements, as minister, I have consistently raised my concerns and unhappiness with the outgone NSFAS board about the inability or failure of NSFAS to carry out and implement some of its basic responsibilities that I have allocated to it in terms of the Act. The inability relates to the following: inability to fully implement the recommendations of the Werksman's report, key among which was the termination of the contracts of the direct payment service providers, which according to this report, the Werksman's report, were appointed irregularly. I must say I raised this in December that steps must be taken to remove these service providers, and that hasn't happened. Also, the consistent inability to oversee payment of student allowances timeously by management, which has resulted in unnecessary stress for students and their parents, and also continues to strengthen the very stability of some of our TVET colleges and universities. The inability to submit a corrected annual report to Parliament, and inability to manage and finalize the closeout report of NSFAS arising from the old scheme that was there before the new one. The inability to address very serious and glaring capacity deficiencies within the organization, including the call center, by the way, which is still not functional. The consistent inability to respond to student queries in a timeous and efficient manner, and inability to consult on the guidelines for the missing middle and the implementation of the missing middle solution. In an attempt to resolve these problems or to mitigate their negative impact, as Minister, I engaged the board on several occasions on various solutions, including a turnaround strategy, which has not been achieved within agreed timelines. It may be unfair to put every board member into the same pot.